Shalom to the elect. First, I want to give all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Racha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops, the great millstone. Peace and blessings to you fellow brothers pushing out this word in truth and in sincerity. It's your Chanak coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Racha Kwadash. Shalom to all the believers. Shalom to the elect. This is a walk and talk lesson. You know, I'm just turning on the recorder. I kind of wanted to speak about more threats to the grid here in Babylon the Great, especially in the form of cyber attacks. There's recently some news about some cyber attacks. And also more news about cyber attacks in Europe. We know ultimately that there will be a big cyber attack, or multiple so-called multiple attacks on the grid that's going to take down this infrastructure, this mainly the financial infrastructure. But if you look at it, everything is based upon this, pretty much everything is based upon the internet, the archaic, infrastructure that they have set up right now. Right now the internet is all open, the different servers and, everything's on the cloud now. You have the AWS, Amazon Web Services. They pretty much have the internet in their hands. Google, Alphabet company, these major tech companies that pretty much own the infrastructure in which everything is built and based upon. Now we know ultimately Esau, Edom, the wicked elite, they want to take down the old and bring in a new. As far as the digital currency, the digital system. Let me bring out, this is a little article a brother sent on a thread, and this is actually from let me see, disclose.tv, right? And I'll try to remember to put the link in the description box, if I remember, but you can just kind of type this in. This is from disclose.tv. Exclusive U.S. government agencies hit in global cyber attack, right? And I mean, Dabu also, he had a video earlier that I watched, he did today, about how, these so-called, anonymous and, these hacker groups, these hacker groups are saying that they're going to take down Europe, and which we know Esau's behind all this shit. Okay? Just bear with me. I'm going to walk across the street. We know Eve's behind pretty much everything. Okay, evil, especially when it comes to America, but pretty much everything that goes on in this earth. E has his hand, all right, in the mix, plotting. Okay, U.S. government agencies hit in global cyber attacks. Several U.S. federal government agencies have been hit in a global cyber attack that exploits a vulnerability in widely used software. And these hackers, man, they don't be playing around. Well, I got somebody hacked my shit, got into different websites that my information was on, try to buy shit. They didn't get me, but it was still the inconvenience of going through things, counseling stuff, talking to certain representatives. Right, they didn't get nothing, but still, they're there. You got all these scam calls, and that goes all the way from. So people are used to it. So when the actual cyber attack happens, and Esau, blames a foreign agent or a domestic agent, the people are going to eat it up. They're going to eat it up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because they've been conditioned to, conditioned that these things are going to happen. He puts it in his movies, this and that and this. You see what I'm saying? There's more. There's a little more. Let me see. But we really don't need that, right? Because you have the W to the E to the F. Let me just type that in. WEF Cyber Polygon, right? 2022. Okay. Let's see if they had 2023, which we'll just let's just find out what Cyber Polygon is first, right? If you're not in the know, what Cyber Polygon is. So this is cyberpolygon.com. You know, once it's done loading. Okay. So Cyber Polygon, the international capacity building initiatives aimed at raising global cyber resilience. Let me see. There's more. Yeah. About Cyber Polygon. As Cyber Polygon, organizations get to test their level of resilience to cyber attacks, as well as exchange best practices with global communities. Now they actually have a conference. If every year or every other year, I believe it's every year. I know they had one in 2021, 2022. So I'm pretty sure, it's everything's on stage for 2023. But they do war games, cyber attack war games, simulations, if you will, just like with the whole the sickness, right? They did war game. They did war games or simulations. If something like this would happen, how would their response be? So when this thing actually happens, you're already going to have government agencies set up to go ahead and put, to bring in that response, calm down the human, calm down the population in these different countries. They're gonna all be working together. One country working with this country, trying to find out, okay, how can we solve this issue? They're gonna put freezes. They're gonna shut down the economy. They're gonna, there's gonna be riots. There's gonna be, wars within, looting. So that's gonna just bring more chaos and more chaos and more chaos. And then ultimately, what? He has the solution set up. That's more control, more lockdown, more laws, and then ultimately he's going to be pushing that MOTB. Now you can look up Cyber Polygon more if you want to. Okay. Oh, shit. But I want to type in something else, and I'm going to bring out a scripture. WEF, so the World Economic Forum, right? You have what they called cyber pandemic, right? They do simulations. Okay, this is from the wefforum.org, right? A cyber attack with C-19 like characteristics. Okay, so once it's done loading, I don't, my phone is just, tripping. While that's doing that, let me just pull out a scripture we go to all the time. 2 Corinthians 2, right? 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Least Satan should get an advantage of us. These regular, average, everyday citizens, these people, which a lot of them hear these things, but it doesn't really register in their mind, you see? And they don't also equate this with being in time. Prophecy. They're not occupied in prophecy as the men of the Lord would be. Okay, the elect would be. The hopeful elect at that, we don't know exactly, right? But we're watching, and this all lines up with biblical prophecy. So meanwhile, as Esau's pushing that MOTB technology, right? They're putting brain chips inside people's heads. You still got that war with Russia. So mind you, Russia and America, they're still at war with each other through proxy. Okay, and it's only going to heighten up as cyber attack. They're going to blame Russia. They did a cyber attack. they shut down this, China did this, they did that. So it's going to cause a real big disruption, okay, to global supply chains. And 2020, 2021 showed us that these supply chains they're already unstable. As I did a lesson the other day in which you had that a bridge in Philadelphia, it collapsed due to an explosion of a oil tanker holding 9,500 gallons of gasoline. So these are all attacks on American infrastructure, as well as the digital infrastructure is going to be all attacked. Mind you, the wicked elite, they want to bring in this a new infrastructure. Okay? It says, least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And there's actually a lot of people that when this actually goes down, they're going to be like, damn, what we've been looking for, and I'm speaking about those, like these truthers, like a guy like Dabu, a guy like Richie from Boston, Gerald Celente. But see, they don't even know to the extent of what the Most High is really getting ready to do, okay, to this place. Before we go to that little article, I want to go to Daniel. Okay. It's gonna get real bad, real nasty. Okay, you're gonna have it'd be a perfect time for the famine to come in. Okay, who supplies the majority of goods to America or to the world in general? China. So that's gonna get disrupted. China's gonna be blamed. China. That's a perfect time for China to invade Taiwan. So there's going to be multiple big events happening. And 2020, so-called 2023, we're in store for a multiple or a big, super big, multiple, whatever it may be, event that's going to happen. Okay, this year here in the United States, if you will. Europe, that's going to cause, catastrophic damage, whether it's the complete collapse of the banking system, and the cyber attack will be a great way to do that. So the federal government, really those who print the money won't be blamed. They could blame it on a foreign agent. So like we read in 2 Corinthians 2 and 11, we're not ignorant of Satan devices. This is all part of Satan devices to move us to one direction. That's the MOTB. Them putting a subdermal device in your body. Okay, so this Daniel, right? (12). Just bear with me. And here in the subheading in the blue letter, it reads, "The time of the end." So this is where we're at. We're at the end. Great confusion, great distractions. It's damn near every day there's a distraction. There's more folly. That's all you see on the net. More people doing pranks. Walking up to thugs and staring at them, or doing a prank here, trying to make you laugh. You got celebrities just dropping dead. You got a lot of distractions going on. Cheap food. 20 wings for $5. This is the perfect timing to get you people. Okay, this is judgment. At that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, which you had on record. It's on the internet. On record, you had Nathaniel. Okay, Nathaniel. Well, now he changed his name to Nathaniel, his Hebrew name, right? General Nathaniel. You had him say, or Bishop Nathaniel, as he's known, that there will be no Jacob trouble. But here we're reading that there will be a time of trouble, and we're entering into that time of trouble. That's why we're blowing and sounding the alarm. Okay, let me get that. Is that there's a scripture in Corinthians. What is that? I forget. Give me a second. Let me just find this real quick. We're blowing the alarm, man. Okay, because we're at that time, and as Hebrew Israelites coming back to our nationality, as Israelites coming back to the knowledge of Yahweh Bashmal Shai, okay, we have to completely rely on faith. Okay, this is going to be a trial. This is a trial of faith. Where's your faith going to be? And you're going to see a lot of people, their faith is going to, really, it's going to be non-existent in that time. It's going to go. They're going to grow weak because of the amount of tribulation that's getting ready to come on the earth. And I was also I was meditating earlier today about how the Most High, he puts these different afflictions on us, and he puts us in that that state of want, that state of need, giving up things, have certain terrible things happen to us, all right, to get us to detach. Because as this place goes down, you're going to see these people, they're going to do whatever it takes to continue that lifestyle that they had, all right, them wanting to live a long and prosperous life, here in Babylon the Great or wherever they're at in the world. And they're going to compromise and do whatever it takes. They're going to sell out, do whatever it takes to survive, because they love their life here. Okay. Yep. 1 Corinthians 14 and give me a second. I mean, this is speaking about tongues, but it applies as well. 1 Corinthians 14 and 6. Now, brethren, if I come unto you speaking with tongues, what shall I profit you? Meaning, if Paul was coming to the church of Corinth, speaking in another tongue, meaning another language, what is that going to profit? Oh, for example, speaking to you in Hebrew. If Paul came speaking to you in Hebrew, what is that going to profit? You don't speak Hebrew. Now, it's important to, when you come into the knowledge, to actually start to learn some Hebrew, but you don't have to be fluent in Hebrew. The main things you got to know is Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Okay? Except I speak to you either by revelation or by knowledge or by prophesying or by doctrine, and even things without life-giving sound, whether pipe or harp, except they give a distinction in the sounds, how shall it be known what is piped or harp? For if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle? You see what I'm saying? So we're actually blowing a certain sound. We ain't telling you, okay, hey brothers, we got these sisters here, good sisters, they can cook, they can clean, they're looking for strong husbands, they want to start a family here, and you can build we ain't doing none of that nation, that bullshit, that so-called nation building. This is the building right here, teaching the word, getting our people prepared for that time. Well, it says that in 2 Corinthians, not 2 Corinthians, 2 Esdras. Let me get that. 16. Right? Because we're gonna have to, cold turkey just cut out, and trust, cut out, leave, drop things, right? Those who buy be as those who possess not. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna have to pretty much just give. We're not gonna leave here with anything, okay? And you have to be willing to give up all those things as well. And we've been being prepped and prepared for these times, for these days now. Okay, while everybody else, they're in a state of what? They're in a state of mirth, they're in a state of pride. Well, we're in the month of pride, right? Let me get. So these things gonna take, like it says in 1 Thessalonians 5, right? It's gonna take them as a thief in the night. When there is an actual cyber attack, it's not gonna take us by a thief in the night. We're gonna be like, wow, whoa, because we're like, damn, we've been waiting for things like this. Whether it's a attack on the grid, whether the lights go out, whether this happened, whether that happened, we've been waiting for these things. Okay, and what are we gonna do? We're gonna rely on Yah Bashma Shai. We're gonna strive for the truth unto death. We're gonna take heed to wise counsels, which this is these videos, these epistles are wise counsel to get you. Well, let's read it. To get you ready to the battle, right? 2 Ezra 16 and 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. And this is all part of the plagues. Okay, this is all part of the plague, and it's only going to get dramatically worse for these people here. But even then, as it's getting worse, the Most High is going to be with His elect. So we actually have something to look forward to, which is going to keep us in an upright, keep our head up, so called. Well, the feeble knees and the hands that hang low, the head that hangs low. The Lord told us to, gird thyself up like a man. Oh, Isaiah the 13th chapter, a man shall be more precious than fine gold, even a golden wedge of Ophir. Because these men are gonna, as the scriptures say, they're gonna be as women during this time. Because they haven't prepared their mind. They don't have an actual savior that they're looking towards to actually save them out of these conditions. Jesus, the Christ, he's not gonna be there, right? Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. Right, these things are coming. I mean, they're coming down the hatch. Every day, every week, something catastrophic is happening. Some type of judgment, some type of crazy, some madness. Okay, some blasphemy that's going on. Esau saying he gonna do this, he gonna do that. They putting brain chips in people's heads. Okay, people on Snap talking about how they got the the subdermal device. They got the subdermal device and they turned it off. This is happening right now. As when a woman with child in her 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of birth, great pains compass her womb. When the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. So that is comparing. It's comparing. The type of plagues that are going to be hit in this place to a woman that is that's in labor, right? Those contractions within the last few hours before the baby's coming out, those contractions, they like boom, 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 and it's great pain. Okay, the woman starts suffering those pains. The baby is about to come out, so the same thing. We've been having those little contractions here. 2020 was a contraction. 2021, there was multiple contractions throughout the years, all leading into the time of trouble. We're going to go back to Daniel. Okay. Which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. And the world shall mourn. Right, this world is going to mourn. Isaiah is I believe that's 66, right, where it says that the Lord's servants are going to eat. The Lord's servants are going to rejoice while you going to mourn. While these people going to mourn, starting with the wicked of our people, they're going to be mourning. They're going to be losing. All these thug niggas, all these thoughts, all these moles within our community, all these benders, all these so-called Christians, God-fearing, Jakes, they getting ready to mourn because their life is getting ready to be taken from them. And the Lord is going to put them through, He's going to put them through hell first. He's going to exercise all the things that we've been saying All right, telling you Israelites that's what's getting ready to come down on the earth. The Most High is going to exercise that. The Lord don't lie. That's one thing we can stand by that. If Yahweh Shema Shai said he's going to do something, best believe it, he's going to do it. Okay? And the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle. See that battle. And in those evils be as pilgrims on the earth. Right. So we've already been given the heads up. What we gonna have to do in that time? We gonna have to rely on the Most High. We ain't gonna stand our ground, right? Stand our ground and no, this is my property. I ain't doing. No, we gonna have to get out of Dodge, if you will, in certain situations. Okay. All the training that we've been going through, and faith as a mustard seed. Right? Faith as a mustard seed is small, but that faith, it grows. So within the process of America, all right, these global powers, causing all these distractions and bringing in this new system, as well as them getting ready to be destroyed, the Most High is going to be building, really increasing faith in that time, because we're going to actually see power in this time. It's also a time of power. This is a very exciting time, all right, for the hopeful elect. Those brothers, you brothers, few sisters that actually believe on Yahweh Shema Shai, believe these words are true. This is an actual exciting time for us, because this is where the Most High, he's going to pretty much accomplish everything that is written in the book. Okay, we're going to see the MOTB. We're going to see war. We're going to see a total collapse. Hey, we're going to actually be in it. Right? The Lord said he's going to bring the third through the fire. We're going to be brought physically through the fire, as we're in the fire now, being purged through the furnace. That's the furnace of adversity, which get your mind right. Okay. To be able to withstand in these days. Okay, your top dude, your mighty man, right? The world says the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holes. They become as women. A lot of these prophets seen, men, like they're getting ready to have a child. They're in great pain because of the things that are coming on the earth. But that's not how the elect are going to be. Okay, we're going to see, Lord's will, if we continue, he that endureth unto the end, right? If we continue in this faith, the Most High, he going to deliver us. Well, let's go back to Daniel, right? Daniel 12:1, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. See? Give me a second. Right, so back in the World Economic Forum, a cyber attack. This is the title. A cyber attack with C-19-like characteristics, and it has a question mark. So I'm not going to go into it, but this is June 15. Wow. Let me click this. This is June 15th. So that was what? Oh, that's today. Wow. June 15. It's an article within the page of World Economic Forum. I'm going to try to upload these so you can take a look at it. U.S. warns of huge cyber espionage campaign and other cybersecurity news to know this month. This month's roundup brings you key cybersecurity stories from the past month. Top cybersecurity news. U.S. faces huge cyber espionage campaign. Big British firm hit by cyber attacks on outsourcing suppliers. Highest AI threat will stem from deepfakes, says Microsoft Brad Smith. Yeah, they can say these things because they're the ones that are going to actually be, behind all these things. So they already know, You see what I'm saying? What it is. So like, I believe I read that article, but the brother that sent that article, there's already been cyber attacks that have been going on right now here in the U.S. And then also, there's talks of, they're going to hit hard in Europe. So hey, we don't know, right? But we're gonna continue to stay focused. We're not gonna allow none of these distractions to take us out of the game, right? We're not ignorant of Esau's devices. So whether it comes tomorrow or whether it comes, 6 months from now, 3 months from now, that doesn't matter. We know ultimately that all these things are going to be coming to the earth, these plagues, because it's not slacked. All right, you thought, okay, the whole Crown Vic was, we're done with that. Okay, let's go back to normal. Let's do our, nah, the Most High's hitting you with other stuff. Okay, right after that, what happened? Now you in a proxy war. Now America is funding Ukraine, billions of dollars, while people here in the States are suffering just to make it, ends meet. A lot of you older jakes, all right, that's why it's so important to, really old or young, right? But a lot of you older jakes, you on Esau's medication, okay? And anytime he can say, hey, we ain't got no more. Yeah, it's going to be harder to get medication. And then you through now. Okay, you got these different dialysis machines. He pretty much keeping you afloat. So this is going to be a great die-off. A lot of people are going to suffer in that day. They're not going to have medical attention. These are the days that the prophet's been warning you about. And, pretty much, that trumpet that's being blown. But hey, who's going to hear it? It was meant to hear it. They're written in the book of life. Those that hear the word and then that actually, do the word. Because you got a lot of these suckers out here that, they just hear the word and it's just entertainment to them until it comes upon them. And then they all, we can see, I can see it now. We could all see it. We talk about it amongst each other. How Jake gonna come up all bugged out, trying to get, maybe the Lord have mercy on some of them, but we already know, Microsoft analyst says the group, which it is calling Volt Typhoon, appears to be developing capabilities to allow to disrupt, critical U.S.-Asia communications infrastructure that would be used in the event of a crisis. The group could also trigger cyber attacks against oil and gas pipelines and rail systems. The U.S. State Department has been warned. Well, was that 2020 or 2019 or maybe 2000? It's, so many things are going on, but you had that cyber attack on. It was the biggest supplier of gas in the Northeast in the United States. I forget the names at the tip of my tongue, but they did what they call a ransomware, where they shut down the system, and they said, hey, you got to pay us so many millions of dollars in Bitcoin, and then you had people in that area bugging out. You had like a little scare for maybe like a week, 2 weeks, where people trying to get gas, So they're already saying that they can target, pipelines, because you got to remember everything is based off the internet. Things have went from like analog to digital. Okay, just like your car, right? The old cars used to be able to manually, roll your window up and down manually. You can't do that now with these new cars. What is it? It's through a button, through some type of electrical component, some type of computer that's within that system, right? That, okay, boom. All the banks are based off computers. Okay? The internet is, of course, it's all computers. Everything's computers. Okay? So that's the perfect way to purge a lot of people And when a new system is brought online, okay, a new system is brought online to, hey, look, you're going to have to take this. Okay, you're going to have to do this, you're going to have to do that. And there's a lot of people that's going to do it because it's going to be pure all-out hell out there. But even at the same time, this man, Esau, Edom, he's going to be getting exposed. I think that was pretty much it on that. Like I said, I didn't really have anything super in particular. It was just kind of like, just whatever's on my spirit. But we're in that time. Hey, look, we're constantly watching. You see brothers there in the spirit. We all understand that we're in the time of, okay, is it tomorrow? Is it the next day? Right? So we just continue to do, what we got to do. Continue to work on your health. Get on a parasite cleanse, take 3 cloves of garlic, do stuff like that. Drink celery juice. You got digestive issues. Still work on yourself, but always be, and of course, praying to Yahweh Shemashai is first and foremost. But always have, these things on your mind, constantly staying in tune to the prophets. Okay. So I'm gonna close it there. Until next time, shalom to the elect.